login, we are taken to the scheduling page. And on here, I'm going to walk through how to create an appointment with the correct procedures, and then complete those procedures and post them to the ledger. So the first thing we'll do is click on the place where we want the appointment to go, existing patient. I will put in my patient Alana, select the provider who will be seeing her, put in any notes, for example, chipped tooth. There are also tags that you can add to add a sticker to the appointment to make it more visual. If the patient has procedures in their treatment plan, you can select and click on them, or if we don't know what the patient is getting yet, then we can save the appointment as a blank appointment without any procedures. When the patient arrives, we will check in our patient, and if we need any consent forms, they will be on forms, and you can search for the form you wish to have the patient sign. You have the option to send it to them by email. Text will not be an option due to the country limitations, but you can email the form to have them sign it prior to coming into the office. You can also sign it in person by clicking the Sign Now button, and this can be done on an iPad or any touchscreen device that allows the patient to provide their signature. Once you're done, you can go ahead and close the page, and we are back on the patient's profile. To add procedures to today's appointment, we will go to the chart, and at this point, the doctors and the clinical team will add procedures. So we have a few procedures already in the patient's chart. I'll walk you through very briefly how to add a procedure. If we wanted to add a filling, you'll click on the tooth, select the surfaces, and you'll be given a list of codes that are applicable to the tooth being a posterior tooth and the surfaces selected. You can see the whole list by clicking on restorative or any of the other categories, and if there are any procedures that you use more frequently, you can bookmark them in orange so that they appear at the top of the list. We can also add a crown, for example, number 21. If it's a crown, you do not need to select the surfaces. The surface selection is only for fillings. Here, we can go ahead and just select the crown, like so. And once we're done, you can click Save, and the procedures get added to the watch list. Now we can move the procedures to whichever priority we wish them to be in. These are the different treatment phases. You can also rename them and say after vacation treatment. For example, if the patient plans to go on a trip and you are doing the treatment after their holiday. Once we know what we are doing today, you'll select the procedures that we are doing today and drag and drop them into today's appointment, like so. That way it will reflect on the schedule. And when you're done, you'll select the procedures that we did today, and on the bottom right, click on Complete. Create a new note if this is the patient's first visit of the day. So we'll create the new note. If you have templated notes, you can add them so that they come in automatically, and you can select templates from the list as well. These are set in the settings. And once we are done, these are the procedures that will be marked as complete, so you can go ahead and click Save. At this point, the patient is finished with the clinical tasks, so they will come back up to the front desk, and on the schedule you'll see here that the procedures we added are added to the appointment, and it's color coordinated so that we know what the patient had done. You can then check out the appointment, where you are taken to the ledger, and the procedures in the appointment are here. They only appear here after they are completed on the chart when we did those steps earlier with the clinical note. To add a payment, you'll click on Add Item. The list of payment codes are in here. You can see what codes are available to select from. I'm going to choose a Visa payment, of $500, press enter on your keyboard, and we have the option to apply it to the oldest balance, newest balance, select the procedures, or leave it as a credit. We always recommend to link your payments to procedures. So if we select procedures, I can choose which procedures we are paying toward and allocate the dollar amount as I see fit. Perhaps they wanted to do 100 toward this procedure and then 300 here. However you wish to allocate it so that it equals to the total credit amount, and then save. Now we can send the patient a statement if we wish by clicking on Statement and Custom, and then select the items that you wish to appear on the statement, and you have the statement with the total for the procedures that you selected. You can either send this by email or print. To add a discount, you can click on Add Item, click on the triangle to bring up the list, and add any of these adjustment codes, or you can create your own to add. Once you're using the program for a while, and if you know the codes, you can just type in the code itself rather than selecting it from the list, if that is easier. I can add here perhaps a $100 discount, select my procedures, maybe I'm applying it to this procedure, save, make sure the allocation is correct, and you'll see that this procedure patient paid 100, there's a discount of 100, and then this procedure patient paid 400. The color coding for the ledger can be found here. These charges are orange in color, which means that they are partially paid off. Another way to add treatment to the patient, to their ledger, is to go directly to the chart. If the patient does not have an appointment, you can still complete the procedures. So if we skip the appointment creation step and we wanted to mark that we completed an extraction on 22, I can just go ahead and click on complete and create a new note and save the procedure. That way it will also appear on the ledger, like so. If I have already completed a note but want to add anything additional that I forgot to add, I can go back to the chart, select the procedure I wish to add, and I can complete and add to an existing note so that it does not appear as a separate one, if you would prefer to keep it organized. Typically, we recommend one note per visit to make it a very clean note section. Otherwise, we can get a very long list of information. So I can add this filling to the extraction note that we just created. And you'll see here, now the procedure is in with the extraction that we did before. Just make sure to add it to the subject line, because this line is just text and it does not update if we change the procedures in it. And now we have this procedure, number 30, added, and it also appears in the ledger once it's completed in the chart.